Cory, thank you so much for your time. You fought hard, you fought bravely, you stuck true to your beliefs, so I admire you for that. But how do you feel about leaving? I mean, do you feel, I don't know, relieved or unfulfilled? I mean, you gave it your best, but do you think you, I don't know, wasted your best years?
Andrew, I'm just unbelievably grateful for the journey that I've been on. It's been an extraordinary experience. I'm privileged to have done it. You're right, I did give it my best. I left no stone unturned, and some will say I did too much in some areas or not enough in others, but my goodness, it's been quite a ride, and it's been a trip down memory lane with lots of phone calls and discovering a few old documents today. So I'm just happy, happy to be in the position that I am.
Let's go to the tough stuff first and then end on a happier note. Why didn't the Australian Conservatives work?
Oh, Andrew, I think circumstances changed, to be honest. I mean, if you want to go to that space, I started it because I thought the Liberal Party was broken and the revolving door of Prime Ministers was not going to end their brokenness, and that I anticipated a Labor victory. I thought the Liberal Party would be desperate for a Conservative formation. Now, I don't mind saying I got that wrong. The leadership change worked wonders. Scott Morrison repositioned the party in its entirety. I truly believe that. They adopted a lot of ground, and you know, the reason for us being disappeared, a lot of our members, and we had 20,000, more than 20,000.
You did?
Our members
I was there at one particular rally in Adelaide, and the roar of approval that you got was just unbelievable. There was an energy there, but I guess you got crowded out by all those other voices. You know, you had Palmer coming along with all his money, you had Pauline, of course, you had the Liberal Democrats. Yeah. You just got a crowded field.
Yeah, look, it did, and you anticipate some of those. Palmer, I didn't. I thought Hanson would immolate herself, which they did, but she's got a very sticky vote, and it doesn't matter what she says or does or contradicts. They stick with her. You know, they see her as some sort of martyr, and you know, you learn that from experience. But ultimately, the research showed, our membership said, that when Malcolm Turnbull was dumped from the Liberal Party, they went back there. They didn't want to risk a shortened government, and we couldn't get through it. So maybe we played a role in that. I don't know. I'm not being self-serving here. I'm just going, it is what it is. I'm a big boy. You make your bed, you move on. But I wouldn't change a thing. Let me tell you that. I think I did what my heart told me. I did what my head told me. I gave it my best shot. And some things work and some don't, mate.
What have you learned from the journey?
Well, I was listening to your editorial before, and you know, the tribalism in so many spaces is evident in politics today, and it drew me back to, I was condemned by the ABC and the various leftist tribe for daring to write in the Conservative Revolution about, you know, the outcomes for fatherless children, both boys and girls, and you know, that they don't do as well in many circumstances. And I was pilloried from pillar to post for that, until I pointed out that I was just quoting from a Barack Obama speech. And so when, you know, the black woke Jesus can say it's okay, but when it's, mate. Of course it does. And you realise how shallow and pathetic elements of the media are, and the tribalism in politics.
Oh, you don't have to talk to me about the media shortcomings, mate. I'll write you a book on that. The media, I mean, you leave with, I thought you didn't get a fair shake quite often. How do you feel?
Oh, it is what it is, mate. You know, you learn from all of these things, and sure, I would have liked people to have reflected on what I actually said, but when I was being attacked on the ABC this morning, they were saying what an example I was for my kids. I said, this experience was fantastic for my family in many respects, because they knew the truth behind what the headlines were, what was political expediency. If you go back to what I said about Peter Singer and the Greens, and you know, his idea of relationships, all twisted, tormented, mischaracterised, I gave them that opportunity, but it was self-serving, and it was just you accept what it is. You don't complain, you don't whinge, you just get on with it and say, hey, I'm a big boy, and it teaches you resilience, and that's one of the most admirable qualities and characteristics I find in others.
I think my kids have had the same lesson, to be honest. And you did see off Malcolm Turnbull in the end. That's not bad, is it? I mean, you didn't have quite a very easy relationship with this bloke. I mean, you wanted him gone for a start.
It goes back a long way. And, you know, I was going through the archives today, trashing things I didn't want to see in the public domain, but I found this letter where Malcolm sacked me. Now, you've got to remember, Malcolm sacked me as Shadow Parliamentary Secretary for writing a blog that there were people in Parliament and in the Liberal Party who were self-serving opportunists who didn't give a fig about principle or values or policy. They only wanted to climb to the top of the greasy pole. I didn't name anyone. But
everyone knew you were talking about Christopher Pyne. Everyone knew you were talking about Christopher Pyne.
He outed himself by denying that he played golf with me, which was not a true statement, right? So I had to correct the record. But I got this fax, and this fax said, "You're sacked, you're a terrible person," basically. And I rang his then Deputy Chief of Staff, which was Peter Credlin. And I said, "Peter," and it was a bit frosty, and I said, "Peter, can you send me the original copy, please, with Malcolm's signature?" And she said, "Why do you want that?" I said, "Because I want to frame it and put it on the wall. This will be like being sacked by John Hewson. And it's a thing to be proud of." And she just hung up. Now, I don't know if Peter recalls that phone conversation.
To take objection to what you just said. I don't know. I've got a little like that too from Philip Adams once. I must show you it one day. It's a cracker.
I've got a collection of letters like that.
Cory, look, really look forward to where you bob up next. I hope one of the places will be in the studio now and then as a commentator, and maybe for the Whiskey with a Mate. That was great last time. All the best to you, mate.
Thank you so much, Andrew, and all the best to you and the viewers too.